Hi, Joe Kehrig with the Kehrig Real Estate Team, and this is your San Ramon Valley update. And today we're going to talk about home prices and what we think they're going to be doing in the next year or the next couple years. You know, one of the things that, people are kind of all over the board. When you look at the first graph, you'll see that basically there's more people think prices are going to continue to go up, and then more people think that prices are going to continue to go down, and less people that think it's going to stay the same. So it's really kind of all over the board. So, and one of the reasons it's like that, if you look at the headlines, I mean, look at these headlines. Definitely the headlines are meant to scare people because people will open it up if they're afraid or anything like that. So they're basically just trying to grab your attention. But overall, we've been seeing a lot where they expect the economy is going to go down, home prices are going to crash. And the words that they kind of use, I'm going to substitute a couple words for really what the real estate market is doing right now. If you look at these headlines, you'll see words like dropping and correction and deflating. Well, I want to use the words more like moderating, normalizing, or decelerating. It's kind of like if you're driving a car and you go around a corner over the speed limit, and you're going around the corner and you'll see a cop car, 1,000 feet in front of you. You're not going to slam on your brakes, and that's what they're trying to tell you, that home prices are dropping, everything's slamming on the brakes. No, what it's doing is just moderating, it's decelerating. So if you see a cop car in the distance, you're not slamming on your brakes, you're decelerating, and that's what we're seeing with the market. I want to give you a great example of, I hear every day that, hey, I'm going to wait till interest rates go down. Well, yeah, they might go down a little bit, but for the most part, we're kind of pretty close to where we're going to be for the next couple years. So if you're waiting, because remember, if you wait, interest rates go down, remember we've talked about it, prices end up going up. Perfect example, 1971, when interest rates were 7.3%, literally a lot of people were saying, well, I'm going to wait for interest rates to go down. Well, you would have had to wait 22 years to 1993, from 1971 to 1993, to see rates drop below 7.3%. And if you would have waited, the real estate market prices quadrupled during that same period. So don't wait. Go out there, and now's a great opportunity to be able to find actually there's some homes on the market. So what we're seeing is a moderating of the market. You look at this graph and you'll see that obviously 2020, 21, 22, prices went up and up and up. And then mid last year, you see it actually dipped below, but you see they're moderating. They went up, but they're actually this is what you would call moderating. And when you look at this graph, it says expert forecasts lean towards a moderation in home price growth over the next 5 years. This translates to a slower and more sustainable pace of appreciation compared to the breakneck speed witnessed in recent years rather than a free fall in prices. So basically what the Norada real estate investment experts are saying is you're going to see just a moderation in prices. You're not going to see necessarily it crash, but you're going to see it come down to a more sustainable level. And that's probably going to be somewhere around 5%. Look at the 2024 home price forecast, throughout all the different major people that obviously give you the input on this. And for the most part, when you look at the average, it says 3.2%. Well, here, we're actually going to probably see a little bit more than that. It's going to be more like 5% appreciation. Same thing, 2025 forecast. And you'll notice with the last graph and this graph, there's no one that says prices are going to go down. Definitely moderating. Here it says 2.7. Again, expect 4 to 5% in our area because we still do have a lot more demand than we do inventory. Even though inventory is up a little bit, you're going to see that start coming down as July is kind of the peak of inventory. Then less and less people put their home on the market. You throw in maybe the interest rates coming down a little bit, and you know what? We're going to see the supply and demand out of whack, and you'll probably see prices go up that 4 to 5%. What about our market right here? Well, you've definitely seen a stabilization. Look at the San Ramon market. The actives have gone up, the pendings have gone up a little bit, but for the most part, it's a stable type market. This goes back to where there were twice as many pendings as there were more pendings as there was sales. A few weeks ago, there was only half as many pendings as sales. So the San Ramon market you could call it a correction, but it's more just a deceleration of where it at. The Danville market, you can see, I mean, if you talk about, consistency, look at this market. It's pretty much stayed the same throughout the last 3 weeks. This is basically a moderating market that now has kind of found its place. Same thing with the Alamo market. We've actually seen pendings go up quite a bit, which was great, and the active listings have gone down. So the Alamo market's picking up, for the most part, a stable, moderating market. Same thing in Dublin that we see. You'll see prices all around 100% of asking. Now, we've seen a ton of price reductions, and it's not so much, when you see the price reductions, when the market corrects a little bit or moderates, it's not so much that prices are going down. It's like sellers first put their home on the market of what they thought it was worth 2 years ago. And then it's kind of, you have to almost educate the seller, and you'll see the prices come down and down and down. If you really looked at where homes are selling compared to where they started, instead of being around 100%, you'd probably see that this is more like they're selling about 95% of where they first came out on the market. So anyway, it's definitely a complicated market out there, where I've told people in 46 years of professionally selling real estate, I've never seen a market where I can look at the hot sheet and I still see some multiple offers out there, but I'm also seeing a lot of price reductions. Normally, if the market's slow, all you see is price reductions, or if the market's hot, all you see is multiple offers. Now it's a tale of two markets. If you have the right upgrades done and fixing the home up a little bit, it's a good location and it's priced right, which is the most important thing, you very well might get asking price or a little bit over asking price. But if you overprice your home or don't do the improvements, or if it doesn't show well, then you're probably going to languish on the market and drop it and end up less than if you would have ended up basically having a professional show you how to do it in the beginning. Like, that's what we'll sit down. We'll sit down and do a plan with you as far as what upgrades, where can you spend $20,000 to get $60,000 in return, and also pricing it right. Because again, if you price it right, you'll probably end up getting more than pricing it too high and then having to drop. Because once you have to drop and you languish on the market, then that's when the bottom feeders come out to obviously want to negotiate your price. So any questions at all, give me a call, Joe Kehrig, 925-487-6838, or drop me an email, joe@kehrigteam.com, or visit our website to learn more about the Kehrig team, www.kehrigteam.com. It's a very fluid market, especially going into the election, so make sure you stay tuned for next week. Have a great week.